Shabbat Shalom. Today's video is sponsored by Chana Ben Jamini in memory of her father Menachem Tzvi ben Sarat. Yeh nishmato tzol b'tzol haim began Eden tihye menuchato. After 2.5 parashiyot discussing the building of the Mishkan and all the clothing and everything necessary for the Mishkan, Torah goes into Shabbat. And the pasuk in this week's parasha is what we say in Tefillah Friday night. We say it in Amidah on Shabbat day. We say it in Kiddush on Shabbat day. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat. The Jewish people should keep the Shabbat. And it's a Brit Olam. It's an eternal covenant between us and the Creator of the world. It's an ut, it's a sign. And why? Why do we keep the Shabbat, the pasuk says? Ki sheshet yamim asa Hashem et hashamayim et haaretz. Because Hashem created the world in 6 days. Ubayom hashevi'i Shabbat v'ayin nafash. And the 7th day, Hashem pulled away from creation. And we do the same. And on Shabbat, we give testimony to God as the Creator of the world. And that's why we say Kiddush Friday night standing. Because as we're bringing in Shabbat, just like a witness in the Jewish court, when he testified, he had to testify standing. We say Kiddush standing to testify as God as the Creator. But the question is as follows. What is the idea that the Creator of the world had to rest, Shabbat? It's a very strange thing. Obviously, the Creator of the world doesn't get tired. So what is this concept of rest? But the second question is, why do we acknowledge the Creator of the world testify by resting? If we're testifying to God as the Creator, shouldn't we spend the day creating and building and accomplishing? It should be the opposite. But I think the answer is found in the Gemara. The Gemara says that Shabbat is me'en olam haba. It gives us a little bit of a taste of the world to come. What does that mean? You see, there's a fundamental difference between this world and the world to come. In this world, we are wired to accomplish. You see, you try taking a vacation. You've been working for years and finally you get a break. You go on this vacation you've been looking forward to. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Eventually you're going crazy, pulling your hair out. Like, how long can I be on vacation? You just want to go home back to work. Because we're not wired to sit and enjoy. We're wired to work. You sat and worked years and you wrote this book. And after you finished writing it, you closed the book, you made a huge party and a celebration, and you're so happy, you accomplished. How long does that joy last? A few days? Maybe a week? And then what's next? You're itching to do something else. See, because we're wired to work. We're not so much wired to enjoy. Pleasure is nice, we all like it. But that's what we're wired to do. Take the greatest moment of pleasure you have, your wedding day. Wedding of a child. And you're in ecstatic and in great joy. And how long does that feeling last? A few days, a few weeks. We get bored, we need something else. Olam haba, we're completely different. Olam haba, we're wired to enjoy. That moment of ecstasy and pleasure we felt lasts forever. And that's what the Mishnah Avot says. Yafeh sha'achat shel korat ruach ba'olam haba. One moment of pleasure in the world to come is better than mikol chayei olam hazeh. You can combine all the moments of pleasure you had in your lifetime and more, all the moments of pleasure any single person had throughout history, you combine them together. They don't equal to one moment of pleasure in the world to come. Because they were wired to enjoy. That moment, that first initial moment of pleasure, you feel that moment forever. It never leaves you. That's Shabbat. It's me'en olam haba. See, Shabbat is a day of not working. We don't create, we don't build. We actually pull away and enjoy what we created. You see, if you're involved in tinkering and building and creating, but you can't let go You never finish. Then you never made anything. But more than that, you destroy it. Take a painter who's sitting there painting his beautiful painting, spending weeks, and he's got one more fix. No, one more stroke. Let me just do this. Let me just do that. And he can't stop tinkering with his painting. Ultimately, he destroys it. The beauty is gone. To create sometimes means I have to let go and enjoy what I created. Shabbat, in a sense, is the culmination of creation, culmination of a project, culmination of the work I've been doing all week. I take Shabbat, I pull away. Now I can appreciate what I created. It is actually the final act of creation. So on Shabbat, just like Hashem pulled away from creating on Shabbat and made the world that we have, so to every single Shabbat, we pull away and spend that 24 hours, 25 hours of not just, it's not a time of accomplishing. The opposite. It's a time to pull away and enjoy what we accomplished. And that pulling away itself is the final act of creation. Shabbat Shalom.